All right,
it's coming over the dike.
It's coming over the dike. All right, here we go.
Can't hold it forever.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Netflix Explorers podcast, the podcast that flows these movies through you like the Cal-Sag River. From the 1890s studios, my name's Dale.
Just like the Cal-Sag River, Netflix can be a dark and murky place, but we're here to bring you the goods. I'm Adam.
And this is the only podcast that doesn't have a check engine light that comes on. My name is Patrick.
Today we're going over Aeon, Flux, Godzilla, Planet of Monsters, and The Interview. Please stick around. Gentlemen, we're back in the studio again.
Yeah.
Doing crack. We're not doing crack.
No.
We can.
Not on air.
Not on air. Not while we record.
Or after, but maybe before?
Maybe. Patrick, what's going on, dude?
My check engine light just came on.
What the heck?
Yeah.
We got to plug in the little plugger in to see what code it's throwing.
I had a speed bump going, or not a speed bump, what are they, the potholes? Leaving
What
work.
was that? Yeah, this is,
so.
the region is Pothole Nation, man.
Yeah, pothole.
All of the Chicagoland area has been littered with, it looks like it was some sort of alien invasion. They like blasted just the roads.
Well, they didn't have like high caliber rounds, so they just made like little holes, and then everybody kept driving over them. So
you got to check engine light. I wonder where it
dude, at the exit off 894 on 249 by the Bass Pro where I live, there you can't drive in the left lane.
Oh, dude, it's
a
terrifying.
6-inch deep pothole. I went through it the other day. I thought I just ran over an IED. Like it was.
Adam, besides the ID, how's everything going, dude? Good to have you on the podcast, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Great to be on the podcast.
Docket Master, what do you think? How are you feeling? This 2018, this is the new, we're in the new year. We're into the new year for the podcast. How has being the Docket Master been going? We haven't had a lot of guests, but have you been holding up? Or
oh yeah,
we got some guests coming soon. Coming up on the podcast.
Yeah, I put a great February, and we got a great March put together, so I'm looking forward to it. We got a nice balance. I think our balance here in this
balance is
season 2
everything.
Has been top notch.
Good. I mean, last day of February, we're going to close it out strong.
We got a couple of gems right here.
We had a couple of gems. You did dive deep for these. First one up. Did I say it wrong in the intro, Patrick? Aeon Flux? Eon Flux.
Eon
Flux. This is a
Eon Flux.
2005. Oh, Flux. Oh, I didn't see the little line. Dots.
The Nino.
That's an umlaut.
An umlaut. 2005 film. Aeon Flux is a mysterious assassin working for the Mohiccans. The group of rebels tried to overthrow the government. I thought I said Mohicans for a second. That'd be
I was just thinking that.
When she is sent on a mission to kill the chairman, a whole new mystery is found. 5.5 IMDb action sci-fi. Runtime's 93. That's minutes, American minutes. Budget is $62 million.
Oh,
wow. Let's go ahead and roll the trailer, Adam.
so it's a futuristic world.
Would you say society defying?
I would. Dale. Charlize Theron is wearing a lot of leather outfits in this movie.
Tight leather.
Yeah.
You're needed.
Paramount, Lakeshore, MTVville.
We are in the last city on Earth.
TV.com.
Some call it the perfect society.
So is this what
Others know
Black
better.
Panther's based off of? This movie?
Government control is total.
Loosely.
People disappear
Loosely
as though
boats.
they never existed.
Loosely
But
Black
there
Panther
are rebels
boats.
who believe in freedom and who fight in the name of the disappeared.
Yeah, so the guy just
I'm
French
one of
kissed
them.
her and gave her a capsule that gave her like a message.
Yeah.
They do a lot of ingesting messages.
The future is going to be messagey.
The government's protecting something. We want you to eliminate Chairman Godzilla. Do this, and we will have our victory.
Ready?
Always.
Her buddy in this movie's got hands for feet.
I'll keep off the grass.
Pretty weird.
Feet for hands.
She's coming. Get to
You
a
know who
safe
that guy
place.
reminds me of? Jock Sparrow.
Good boys.
So she can control stuff like Professor Xavier.
Pathetic.
Had a lot of X-Men vibes.
I'm afraid we're going too far. This is a war, and people on all sides die.
A lot of fighting.
Amateurs. You may want to duck.
Grenade. Fighting. Spinning.
I had a life once.
Aeon
I was a
Flux.
mission.
Coming this fall. All right, cool. Let's roll through some notes here, if we could. Patrick, you want to just rocket through them?
Yeah, this was shot.
Good,
the
'cause you
scene
don't
where
have a
Aeon
choice.
Flux catches a fly with her eyelashes taken directly from the title sequence of the animated Aeon Flux television show. There's a Wilhelm scream. A guard is shot and falls off a stone wall in the courtyard, and you can hear him go.
What is
scream.
that? What is a Wilhelm scream?
That's so.
I feel like we should know.
There's like that generic scream. If you guys haven't heard it, I know you. If you guys don't know it, I know
if you
you've
hear
heard
it, you'll know it.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay.
whoa!
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like it's in every movie.
Classic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember watching this movie previously when I was younger, and I know a lot of it was supposed to be filmed in Brazil, but they really fell in love with Berlin, Germany. So that's why a lot of it is reminiscent of Berlin and then the World War II, like secret tunnels. On
Yeah,
Sure.
I could see
which is
that.
really
Yeah.
cool.
It felt like architecturally. Architecturally. How did I say? Architecturally? It seemed like very like crisp cut big
Yeah.
pillars.
Yeah.
You know, almost that German style,
Mhm.
just big and square and everything like that. That's how it looked. What else we got? Oh, that's
No,
it.
that's it,
That's
Dan.
all the notes we got.
Yeah, so there wasn't a lot of data on this movie because it's not an older movie, but it's from a time where like this movie came out and it was based off a TV show. The TV show was based off of, I want to say, either a Japanese manga or some sort of anime series. So there's a little, it's been rehashed a couple
Sure.
of times. So
and
this
you
is
really
like,
got to be kind of diehard. It didn't.
Yeah,
I see what
yeah.
you're saying.
So
So what? You like it? You didn't like it?
Originally I watched this movie because I thought we were supposed to watch it last week, so I'm a little murky on a lot of the
got it.
details.
Okay.
But what I do remember liking about this movie was Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
She was really good throughout the movie, but short of that, there wasn't really much depth to anybody else in this movie.
Sure.
There was a relationship she had with another character, which
Mhm.
kind of played in later, but I don't remember it being super like fulfilling for me.
Right.
But it's graphically really fun to watch, but like if you're watching it for storyline, there's not much there. So
Not very story driven, but action sequence after fight scene, she was kicking butt, man. She was doing some crazy moves. She was wild. Adam, what do you think? Man? Wait,
Nah.
Can you explain this one to me? Can you explain? Give me a 5 second.
I sure can, Dale.
Not 5 second.
Okay,
Short
so
synopsis.
all right, so there's a mosquito virus.
Okay.
Been saying we need to get rid of the mosquitoes for years.
Zika.
Takes out everybody on the earth.
Okay.
Like there's only 5 million people that survive. Okay, and luckily they come up with a cure in the nick of time to save like 5 million people. And they all settle in this one city with big walls, and it's this little city. So this movie takes place 400 years in the future.
After that.
So this is like year 24, whatever,
Do
24,
the math.
18.
Yeah.
So that's when the movie takes place, and then you have this utopian society with there's like a ruling family, and then there's a rebel group called the Monarchins, and Charlize Theron is part of that rebel group.
Okay.
And they're trying to take down the leadership. And just like most utopian societies, there's more that's going on behind the scenes
Underground.
that the general public doesn't know about.
Sure.
So the movie answers the question, what is going on, or it asks the question, what's going on, and the whole ride is trying to figure out, like, what's going, like, they ask one question in the beginning, and your whole movie is trying to find the answer.
What
to that
is
question.
the question in the beginning?
Well, okay.
The overall.
So Charlize Theron goes to assassinate the
chairman.
The chairman.
Right.
But then he like recognizes her,
Yeah.
and she recognizes him, which is weird.
Yeah.
So then the whole movie's like, why do they recognize each other?
Right.
And that's basically the whole movie's trying to figure why that happened.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yep.
But I did watch this one, and I wasn't really distracted, but I was paying attention. I was missing, like as Patrick said, like the story kind of leaves something to be desired. I was there for the visuals. I was there for really cool fight scenes and stuff. It really kind of over the top in a lot of ways, but cool gadgets, and there was stuff going on. And she's being all smart, like she just had that one line at the end, amateurs, and like, oh yeah, like okay, those kind of fight scenes that end with someone saying amateurs.
Just a little punchline.
Yeah, like that's the kind of movie you're getting. But I had Adam explain it because the storyline to me was like, what is
They try to tell a lot.
Like, what are you trying to figure out? And then now, why are you confused about this? And then now this came up. Well, how does that? To me, it was a real busy storyline. How about
exactly?
That?
Well, it kind of goes back to like when we watch Death Note. Like a lot of it is missed if you don't watch the source material.
That
like
could
that.
be.
So that's kind of what this filtered down to because they're got 93 minutes. They got to pack an entire TV show into it.
Sure.
And so
basically, what I learned from looking on doing my research for this movie was it's got 5.5 IMDb. Basically, everyone who watched the animated series before and then watched this movie hated it.
Really?
And then everybody who didn't watch the animated series was like, meh.
Oh, okay.
So I think it pissed off a lot of fans of the original series for whatever reason. I'm not totally sure. I didn't read all their comments. It was just like, travesty. Read. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not going to waste my time reading this, guys.
I think a lot of this movie was based around how Charlize was going to be dressed through it because there was a couple of scenes where she's wearing something and that kind of I could see it getting a 3 or 4 point bump for the IMDb scale.
I think she was very bad at that role.
Really?
I think
being the sexy
badass.
Right.
I think she's not good at that.
I don't think she had the sexy down, but the badass. I mean, ending a fight with amateurs.
But just her looks, but her voice was she really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say she's a sexier badass missing an arm in Mad Max.
Ooh, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And no hair.
I forgot about Mad Max. Dang, she was good in that.
So, but I see what you're saying. I see what you were trying to shoot for. But they were, to your point, Patrick, they were pushing that
it was
bit.
heavy-handed.
Sure.
I think what pulled it down for me was when she would go into those, I don't want to call it a trance, but like a state of memory or where she would take the pill and then she would be unified with whoever else. It was that redhead that kept pulling it down for me because she seemed like she had a much bigger role in other material than she did in this movie because she was kind of given Aeon the orders to do what she had to do, but she really didn't have a huge role in anything else other than saying, hey, go to point B and do objective A.
Yeah, she was giving her orders
One
all the
thing
time.
that really bugged me was she had superpowers, the way she can move.
She'd go invisible too.
So how did you get superpowers? That wasn't explained.
Now that's another thing too.
Zika.
And on the red-haired boss woman side, what's her backstory? How did you become what you are? And then
how did you become the leader? Yeah,
right. And then why are you what gives you the how are you giving her orders and stuff like that? I guess you really do need to come off some source material to fill in the holes.
Yeah, because we kind of just have to as the viewer, we just have to accept okay, she's the boss. And this is the best.
See, but I can accept that. I can accept she's the boss. Okay. However she got the boss, whatever.
Right.
But when someone has superhuman abilities, I feel like you can't just put that in there and expect people to know what that's about.
I don't know if she had she kind of filled a Batman role for me because she was just not a superhero. She was just a superhuman kind of.
She was crawling on the ground like a damn chupacabra.
Well, I mean, I've seen plenty of YouTube videos where people are crawling around like chupacabras, so it's not
I missed those videos. send me URLs on those chupacabra.
Why haven't I been linked? Link them to me. So it was an interesting. I mean, what do we need to talk about it more? I mean,
What'd you think, Bill?
Here's the thing. I didn't pull anything away from this one. I'm doing a Papa Steve.
You didn't feel?
Make me feel something. Give me the feels, y'all. No, it was just you can watch it and observe it. I think Vac-Ac is, but then you miss half the story. I didn't pull anything out of it.
Well, it kind of goes back when you talk about a Vac-Ac, you can miss 20-30 minutes of the movie, and then when you start watching again,
the story.
So
I guess it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
good call,
so
it's
kind of like
good
that.
Correction.
I'm not trying to correct that. Please. But you could miss the first 20 minutes of this movie, and then you'll just jump in and be like, okay, she's a BA. and she's going to go after the champion or the chairman. And so, I mean,
but
that's
there's some
just
cool
how the
twists.
story goes.
You know, there was like, I think the problem was that I think we talked about this in a different movie where, you know, the movie asks a question and then it gives you an answer immediately and then asks another question. And it keeps feeding you.
Mm-hmm.
This movie just asks one question and takes the whole movie to figure it out.
Yeah.
So by the time you're like, oh my God, why did that happen? Why did she know that guy? Why did they recognize each other? And it takes literally the entire movie to explain it.
Sure.
And
that's a long time to wait for a payoff.
That's a long time for the viewer to wait for a payoff. Where, as in, when we get to the interview, a little tease for coming up in the next segment.
Nice work.
Wait.
The interview, that will give you a lot of little victories. And I think it's a better movie when you get little victories instead of just waiting for one long payoff the whole time.
I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. It's watching a basketball game versus a soccer game.
Yeah.
You're scoring a lot of points, and people are going back and forth a lot. But in a soccer game, it's a long con. It's a long con playing soccer.
Yeah,
Championes. Well, tell you what. We'll let the listener decide. But hey, let's do a pros cons. Adam, just sell it or kill
pros, great action, great fight scenes.
Yeah,
I think that's the whole point of the movie. Just the great fight scenes. And then it did have the plot twist at the end was pretty good. I thought I did not see that coming.
Right.
So, and that was, it's society defying, great utopian society, but they're lying to the populace. And, I love those movies.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So cons, I thought the acting was pretty bad, to be honest.
Sure.
And I thought the story it was a good plot, but it was too short to try to, they had to explain a lot.
A lot of squeezing.
They had to pack a lot into this short time frame. And I don't know. It didn't have any memorable moments for me. I can't tell you, like, hey, you remember that one part? I'm like, oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, no memorable moments, not a memorable film.
Right. Patrick, pros, cons.
Yeah, kind of along the same lines. I think my pro is Charlize Theron's wardrobe throughout the movie. It was very good.
I didn't say that because I knew you would. So.
I appreciate it. I remember when I was younger watching this, I remember being drawn in by that. And then as I am older now watching this movie again,
You're still drawn in.
It didn't draw me in as much,
right.
But it still drew me in.
Sure.
I think my cons on it were it's not a very good movie. So, I mean...
and I don't like bad movies.
That's a good point, Patrick. I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah. I'm on this. Pros, it's decent. Cons, it's really not that good. Pros, it's... I'm going to do... Action scenes were just fun to watch. They were over the top and kind of stupid, so that's fun to just be a part of. Cons, yeah, Adam agreed, said it all. I'm not taking anything with me into the future at all. I'll tell you what, rewatch and recommend. Will I rewatch it? No. Will I recommend it? Probably not. I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. Adam, rewatch, recommend?
No, I wouldn't want. No. It sounds like even if you like the anime series, you're going to hate the movie.
Sure.
So don't watch it if you've seen the anime series, and if you haven't seen the anime series, it's not that good. There's much better stuff out there. So stay away.
Patrick?
I feel bad not recommending this movie because when we watched Death Note, I said, hey, you should watch this because it's like a compressed version of the TV series.
Right.
But this one is like a compressed version, and then it compresses it for an unnecessary another reason to do it. So it's just kind of like they found like a couple of great scenes, threw it in the movie, and then they said, okay, we got a movie, let's go.
Right.
So
it's a teetering movie. I think the same thing. It's like, I was like, okay, on the podcast, am I going to like bash on this movie? Or am I going to say, it was all right, it was meh?
Right.
I'm on the fence between those two.
What did it need? Did it need to be longer and more explaining?
I think so.
I didn't like the acting. I thought the acting was bad.
I mean, we could get by the acting if like there was an underlying plot that was fully drawn out and like fully,
you could be on board for and ride through. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like your classic T-432 where like there's an underlying plot and
T-432 for everyone listening. That is shorthand for Tank 432. Patrick's favorite movie.
Anyway, no, I would not recommend this, and I would not rewatch it.
Same thing with Tank 432. Adam, give me your drink review for this one. Liquor Store Aisle.
What about your rewatch?
I already said that. I led us into the segment.
Oh, okay. I'll start paying attention. That sounds good.
Wow. Dale's on top of it.
Hello. Are you guys paying attention? I'm trying to drive over here. No, I will. Adam, Liquor Store Aisle, if you could. If you don't know, on the show, guys, we compare these films to something you may find in a liquor store. That's what the going down the liquor store aisle is. Adam, what do you got?
So I gave this movie. I thought it was a beer.
Yeah,
you know, it's a beer that you've had a couple times and you're not crazy about. So I kind of was going down the liquor store aisle. What am I looking for? I think I gave this one probably like a not a Newcastle, probably like a Budweiser. It's like a heavy beer. No, Killian's Irish Red. That's what I'm going with.
Okay,
final answer.
For $200.
Killian's Irish Red. You know,
take the money.
2005. I had it a couple times. I thought it was all right. Now I have it. My taste buds have evolved. My movie. It's been 13 years. There's been some good stuff coming along since Killian's Irish Red in 2005. So
you read my notes basically. Okay, Patrick, what do you got?
So I gave this a mojito mix. Right.
Okay.
So like you're going down the liquor store aisle, you see the mojito mix, you just grab it, and then you get home and you make it.
Right.
And then you realize it's not that hard to rank a mojito. Why didn't I just make the mojito?
Sure.
You know,
just buy the ingredients.
Just make the mojito. Not the mojito mix.
I got you. You got the mix out of this film. I see. Same lines as Adam. We're on the same wavelength. This is Ice House. This is the high school beer. This is what we're drinking in high school. And it just isn't good. It's not good. If you wanted something just to get you by and to get a little bit of action and to do this and this and this, just like this film does, if you just want a beer because you're in high school and you just got to get your hands on a beer, Ice House. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That's what it compares to.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that one, Adam.
Ice House, very regiony.
Very regiony. It is. It's just not very delicious. Next one up, Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters. This is brand new animated film, 2017. Thank you, Adam. After half century of war against gigantic monsters, the human race decided to escape the planet Earth for safety. Can you tell if this was translated or not?
I was just going to put on
creates a small group to go on an expedition mission back to the planet, only to return to an ecosystem topped and dominated by Godzilla. Yeah, that is definitely translated. 6.1 on IMDb, animation sci-fi, 90 minutes. Roll the trailer. Are you going to be able to hear this trailer? Netflix. It is a Netflix original.
Correct.
Earth. So this is in Japanese.
All right, that's the trailer. You hear the Godzilla streak and the Japanese man. That's pretty much
right.
That gives you the feel.
So I'm watching this at the 1890 Studios as Adam arrives, and his mind is blown that I figured out on Netflix how to use English translation or dubbing.
Oh, you gotta have that on by default.
No, I watched the whole movie with Japanese subs.
Oh no!
All right, no,
with English
in Japanese with English subs.
Right.
I come over here and they're talking in English. There's no subs. I'm like, what did you do? He's like, you just hit this button over here, and I was like, oh my god.
Well, here on the Netflix Explorers, we like to tell you how to turn the captions on in English. It's very simple. You hit the CC button and you select English parentheses US. And
we're also exploring the formatting system, so everyone knows.
Right.
So you don't make the same mistake I did.
We need to tell you,
but
this is how to turn on Netflix.
But after watching it in English with you, after I already watched it in Japanese, I gotta say, I think Japanese is better.
Their language and their emotion within their words, especially during a dubbing of English. I mean,
Godzilla.
That is the best way to listen to it.
Yeah.
But to watch it, it's something different because their lips keep moving.
Yeah, it was kind of the anime. First of all, when I saw this movie, it was the concept's very cool.
Right.
All right, we all know Godzilla.
Sure.
He comes, destroys Tokyo.
Old school.
Old school. That's your grandfather's Godzilla. This is the new age Godzilla.
2017, y'all.
Yeah. So people leave Earth because Godzilla's killing everybody. They come back 20,000 years later to fight Godzilla.
Well, but it's quick side note. They're only in space for 20 years.
which was kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
There's a little space-time continuum, black hole
Interstellar
kind of thing.
Yes.
So it was 20 years for the humans off Earth, but it was 20,000 years for Godzilla on Earth.
Right.
So the whole planet changed.
He's just been chilling.
Making,
But now this
Godzilla.
is a series. We should explain too. This is a series, right?
correct.
And we just watched
part,
episode 1.
Well, yeah, we watched part 1. Part
Part
2's projected to come out in 2018, sometime this year.
How many
so.
episodes total does it say right there?
3. It's supposed to be a trilogy.
Oh, I see. Okay, so this is part 1. It's not episode 1. I gotcha. Let's see here. This is the first animated Godzilla film, but not the first animated adaptation of the franchise. So we're talking there's animated
so like this
Godzilla
is fully
versus
animated, yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Originally envisioned as an anime series, but the success of Shin Godzilla, 2016's Japanese theatrical release, convinced the creators to combine the narrative into a trilogy of movies and put them into cinemas in Japan.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So, Patrick,
Yes.
you're the expert on the...
Yes, I'm a Japanese weeb, yes.
Now,
A
do you
weeb?
like...
A weeb?
What does that mean? Not a dweeb? Did you say dweeb?
No, I said weeb, W-E-B.
Oh.
It's a term for, like people that like not so much as submerge, but I shouldn't say
dabble?
identify. They kind of dive a little deeper than
Oh.
the surface into Japanese culture and
So
everything.
you're basically a Japanese explorer, like a Netflix Japanese explorer.
Yeah, but
In
I
the
mean
anime sense.
Yeah, so there's
karate?
like
I don't want to
there's
put
a couple
labels on
weeb
it.
levels.
I don't
and
want to
I'm
put
not,
labels on
level
everything.
one.
I want to know what you felt.
Samurai Function.
Did you like this one?
This one, I'm still flip flopping. I was waiting to hear what you guys think about it, so I could get
you're
a couple.
wishy-washy.
Yeah, I'm really wishy washy on it because
Okay.
like there's code
First things
Geass,
first,
there's-
listen in English or listen Japanese, read the subtitles.
I watched in English,
Okay.
and it also had English subs, which didn't match the English.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, which was really curious for me because I was trying to figure out which one I should either listen to or read,
Right.
and halfway through I kind of just zoned out.
Gave up on both.
Yeah.
But what did you think about it, movie-wise?
Movie-wise, it's visually...
Yeah, story, whatever.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool.
It does look
It's
cool.
a very cool movie to watch.
Yeah.
But to listen to, like, a lot is lost in the English translation, like you were saying,
Sure.
and even more is lost in the English subtitles. So
if you listen in English and watch in English,
yeah,
the subs, it's
double whammy.
Double whammy. Adam, Godzilla, talk to me. You
Well, yeah.
like it? You hate it?
Well, when I first read the synopsis of the movie, I was all bored, and then I realized it's a Japanese anime. And
Yeah.
I gotta admit, my first reaction was bummed out.
And we got a text from you as we have a Netflix Explorers little text stream, and you said, guys, I didn't know this was an animated series. It didn't stop me or hinder me from watching it or changing up the titles. But what'd you think knowing that it was animated?
Well, I was a little disappointed at first, but then I rolled with it and I got into it, and I was okay with it. It's very different because it's just, I think the Japanese language works with anime for some reason.
Sure.
It just does. And
It's very expressive.
It's very expressive, and like the whole dialogue, how it works is completely different in the loss of translation.
Of course.
Because like all of a sudden they're talking like he's talking to this girl, and to the main character is talking to this girl, and the main character, his whole plot is to get to Earth, kill Godzilla, reclaim humanity,
Right.
be the hero. And this girl's like, so how's it going? And he's like, I am fighting to find Godzilla,
Right.
and keep our humanity together. We will survive again. We will live on this planet. This is our planet. For Godzilla.
Right.
He is dead. And she's like, I'm like, dude, she just asked, like, what's going on?
Like, what's
and then,
up?
And then you're, like, ready to roll into your whole spiel. Like, the emotions are high in the Japanese
Well,
culture.
it's Godzilla.
Like they're ready to roll all
Yeah.
the time.
Right.
Like, but then there's there's a lot of, they use a lot of scientific terms.
Mhm.
They use a lot of, like, math, like, that comes into it. So,
Well, yeah, they're measuring radiation.
Yeah.
They're measuring
Yeah.
the impact of his little laser beam, their trajectory through space and everything like that. Yeah, it's very...
and it was very matter of fact. Like, they have a meeting at the council, and then all of a sudden, like, they're talking about what they do next, and they're just doing it.
Right.
Like, there was no official decision.
Right.
Like, okay, so it moves quick.
They don't got to send it up the pipe, get it approved,
Yeah, yeah.
rework it.
No,
yeah.
no, it was kind of like, okay, we all talked about
All right,
it.
we good?
But we're doing it.
All
Yeah,
right, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, I mean, if you watch the story, they're pressed for time, so they escape Earth. I mean, the beginning starts over they get off of Earth because everything they're throwing at this thing is not killing Godzilla. So they got to get off.
They shot it with 150 nukes at once.
Yeah.
And it didn't die.
Right. So they had to get off the planet. And then their problem is like, listen, we're running out of air. We're running out of food. We're cold. Space is cold. We got to do something. So, and I think when they get together and make a plan, it's like, we got to do it ASAP, y'all. You know, let's go.
Mission critical stuff.
Exactly. So that's why they rush through it. Visually animated. I'm not afraid of animated or anime, like Japanese style cartoon. I'm down. I'm totally down. That's why I wasn't feeling strange when you're like, man, I didn't know it was animated. I was like, cool, let's do it. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
But visually, this is not your manga style comic book. This is many layers deep. Some stuff I thought was computer animated, and then some was like a pure drawn 2D.
Yeah.
Very cool looking. All the technology stuff too. It almost had a look of I don't want to say Cowboy Bebop-y, but like it was really like stuff was really going on. There's a lot of stuff very exciting to watch.
So Patrick, you've kind of heard what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm kind of like, I'm still towing the line because it's not really something you could argue like this was great or this was bad. It's kind of like a real, not so much as niche, but like it's not what you're going to expect in a good way because you're going to get something you didn't expect, but if you're expecting something, you're probably not going to get that either. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I'm excited for part 2. Let me put it that way. So when part 2 comes out, whether it's on the docket or not, I'm definitely going to watch it just to see where it goes. And then I think part 2 is going to really resolve a lot for me to see if I'm really excited or if I'm even going to watch part 3 for it.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Episode 1 leaves you in a little cliffhanger.
For sure.
It's worth
24 style cliffhanger, yeah.
You're going to be brought back, I believe. If you're into the film, you're going to be brought back, I think. It's got a hook.
I do remember wishing that they had more action in the movie because I know a lot of it was like pre-planning, like when we get there we're going to do this.
Well, we just complained about a movie and how they tried to pack too much in. Now we're going, I don't mind a drawn-out movie because they're explaining everything they're doing. They're explaining the backstory.
I kind of enjoyed that because they're explaining the backstory and they were kicking around a lot of ideas like, hey, it's been a long time. Is he still there? Does he have babies? What is the Earth going to look like? What can we live there?
Right.
What's all this vegetation?
Sure.
What do you think? Like, you know, so they ask a lot of questions that
not a lot of assumptions
that the viewer would that you're thinking would happen. So like they kind of went very society defines. Well, it's like what would change? What would be different without humans being off the Earth for 20,000 years and just Godzilla is just there chilling?
Right.
And then you find out at the end of the movie how Godzilla has shaped the Earth, which is kind of a cool. I thought that was a cool little.
You need these large parts of this film or series to like really set up and bring a lot of weight and information and backstory and stuff to really rush into the film.
See, the more we talk about it now, it's kind of feeling like it was a setup piece, and then like it knocked 7 of the 10 pins down. And then the next throw is going to really like rack up the spare for you.
Sure,
you know.
Then you got one bonus throw left in the final frame.
10th frame. Let's go, boys.
It's really like it's kind of Lord of the Ringsy. The first Lord of the Rings was. I remember watching it with my dad for the first time, and he in pure Pop Steve style, he goes, "What did they do? They just like walked around and just like talked a lot and set a bunch of stuff up, and then." You know, as the next movies came up, you know, you tied back to the first or to the first movie, and you know, explained a lot of stuff that you learned in the first movie. So it's like, you need one of these long setups to,
and that's the thing. This movie wasn't long, so like they set up. It was probably like an hour of setup, and then the 30 minutes it was a lot of knocking down. But then they set it up again for the next one, which was really nice. But you know, now that we're talking about it a little bit more, I'm kind of leaning towards, I'm starting to like it just because you guys are putting a new spin on it for me because, like, the setup for it really paid off in this movie, and then they set up for the next movie, and I'm kind of going to go out on a limb and say the next one's going to be good because the support on this for the next one is going to be primo.
Gotcha.
So.
Adam, anything else to add?
I would just say that, I'm listening to this podcast, Business Wars. You kind of hooked me onto that one.
Yeah.
Where it's talking about Netflix and how they took out Blockbuster and the fight in HBO.
yeah.
Very interesting. And it talks about how right now you're in a battle for content. Amazon, Bezos upstairs wants content.
Sure.
Hulu wants content. HBO, they got Game of Thrones, but they're still hunting for content.
Sure.
What do you mean they got Westworld?
And Westworld. So they're all hunting for content because everybody wants to pay a monthly fee and then go watch whatever movie they want to watch on whatever streaming service they choose.
You're right.
And you're going to choose what streaming service you want based on the content they have. So it's kind of an interesting. When I saw Netflix original, and I was like, animation,
right?
Their content, they bumped $5 billion into original programming, and this is the kind of thing they're doing. Like, they're not just doing movies; we're doing TV shows,
right.
We're doing comedies.
Yeah. Do you want long form drama?
We're doing stand up.
Yeah,
we're doing animation. We're doing kids movies. Like they're doing everything.
Sure,
because they know it's all about who's going to have the content at the end of the day. Who's going to be the top dog?
Right.
So. That's what I thought.
It's cool to see it It's cool to see it happening.
Yeah,
and be in the middle of it.
That's my last point.
Okay. Pros, cons. Sell it, kill it.
Pros. It's visually beautiful, visually very cool when you start watching it and looking at it. And society-defying. Godzilla's fighting people. They got futuristic skater bikes that shoot Gatling guns at it. They got artillery ships.
Right.
Great action stuff.
Yeah.
Cons. It is, you gotta watch the movie in Japanese subtitles, which kind of sucks.
Right.
It makes an hour and a half movie feel like 3 hours sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then it's kind of there is a lot lost with that, and you don't, the character, like I said, it's just a difference of cultures. Like,
sure,
like the emotion is always high and just randomly triggered sometimes to me. So
right.
it's kind of weird to get into the characters and get into their mindset because they're operating on a different playing field than us.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So
right.
What do you think, Patrick?
Pros. It's a very good animated movie.
Right.
Right. But it's still an animated movie.
Yeah.
So if you're not on board with the fully 90-minute animation and the Japanese subs or Japanese, however you're going to watch it, it's
right.
kind of going to depend on how you feel about it. Unless you're willing to set all that stuff aside and just go into it with an open mind.
Right.
So that's the only.
Yeah, I mean, there my personal pros cons. Yeah, it could be anything. If the pro is, yes, as Adam said, it's visually beautiful. The story's cool. I mean, the Godzilla story. I mean, post-apocalyptic or post-Godzilla style films. That I love that. I love that kind of stuff. So this definitely plays into that in a very beautiful way. Cons are for me, if you are easily swayed by reading subtitles or you lose a little bit of emotion from changing it to English, and you're not an animated fan, that will be a con, I think. So that's...
Yeah, definitely.
It was very weird. I when I was watching with English, I was mad that I didn't do that. But after watching it in English, I'm like, man, I think I did.
You missed.
I think I did the right thing.
Sure. So that could be a con for me. Adam, rewatch or recommend?
I will not recommend this movie, but I probably will. And I won't rewatch it, but I will watch part 2, part 3.
Ah, okay.
And I think I'm invested.
Sure.
I want to see how they get out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
So it ends in a pretty big cliffhanger, like Patrick said. So it's got me hooked.
Great.
So,
rewatch, recommend, Patrick.
Rewatch. I think I might rewatch it how Adam watched it with the Japanese audio and the English subs.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a 90-minute investment for me, so it's kind of weighing on me.
Time is money.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna either have to do it in preparation for part 2.
Okay.
But if it falls off my radar in the next 24 hours, I'm probably not gonna come back to it.
Okay. Are you gonna tell anybody to watch this?
Would I tell? Yeah, I think I would tell them to watch it with the English audio and the Japanese audio and the English subs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on board. I don't think I need to rush and watch it again. I'm not excited to see it again, but I will need a refresher for when part 2 comes out. Recommend? Yeah, I mean it's if you like. Listen, it's Godzilla. It's animated. It's far out there. It's not
society-defying.
It's society-defying. Well, I'm gonna if it's different. So get ready. So if I'm gonna recommend it, if you like that kind of stuff, watch it. But it's not for everybody. So I'm going to recommend it, but who knows if you're
Take
going
it
to
with a
take
grain
my
of salt.
Exactly. Bath salts. Adam, do you have a drink review for this one?
I do.
Okay.
Dale just made this drink up about 20 minutes ago.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
No, hey, I was first.
Yeah.
So it's called the Godzilla. I'm calling it the Godzilla.
Here we
now.
go. You heard it here first. folks.
So it's like you're scrambling to get something. You got a guest over.
Right.
Dale, I come over to Dale's house to the 1890 Studios, and then we got the liquor cabinet is scant.
It's scant.
It's scant right now.
Nearly a dry household.
Yeah, we've been tightening up the budget. So
Right.
Friday, February donations are.
Yeah. Dale at 1890studios.com.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we got some ad reads to do later. But so he pours me a drink. He gives me a glass, 2 ice cubes.
Just 2.
He takes Smirnoff Lime.
Dos Rocas.
Was it Smirnoff Lime? Was the vodka?
Yes.
Okay, so he drops a Smirnoff Lime there. He's like, "Hey, you want some ginger with that?" And I was like, "Ginger ale, Smirnoff Lime? No.
Sure.
That doesn't sound good." I'm like, "How about just some water?" He's like, "Well, how about some lemon juice?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, all right, let's pop that bad boy in there."
Right.
So it's actually a pretty good drink.
So
it's very tart, but it's smooth at the
I
end.
would say 2 parts lime vodka, 1 part, half part lemon squeeze,
Yeah.
and then 1 part water.
Yes.
2 cubes only.
That's the Godzilla.
That's the Godzilla. And it's
a pleasant surprise.
It's a pleasant surprise. There we go. Patrick, is yours the Godzilla too? What is yours?
I really wanted it to be,
Okay.
but I didn't know that was a drink prior to coming to the studios this morning. So I had to come up with something before I got here, just so I was prepped.
Right.
So a couple of months ago, I had this Asahi.
No, what's the beer? Akashi?
Akashi. It's a Akashi white oak Japanese whiskey.
Okay.
And so when
Very potent.
When they brew this, it's brewed
Just
with
like Godzilla.
it's brewed with like Japanese water, and then is not distilled. It's stored in a
Radiation.
Fiji water?
It's not Fiji water, but it's some weird, and they store it in the mountains, and it's not the whiskey you're expecting, but you're delighted when you get this whiskey. So
there you go.
It's kind of like this movie. It's not going to be what you're expecting, but when you get it, you're going to like it.
Delicioso. I'm just going to throw it right in. It's sake. It's an easy one, but here's how I tie it in. Do I drink sake all the time? No, I don't. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. Do I watch animated films all the time? No, I don't. Is this one good? Yeah, this is pretty good. Animated films I see rarely. Sake I drink rarely. Do I like it? Do I like both? Yes. That's it. Sake. It's got to be in.
Yeah, cool.
But that leaves us with our last and final movie, The Interview, 1998 film, a duel between a duel between a suspected murderer and a detective pressed by people who want results. But whose skin is really wanted?
Bum, bum,
I don't understand that.
I don't
Whose
either.
Skin is really wanted? No one wants skin.
Did you guys watch the movie?
I did watch the movie.
Okay, we'll play the trailer and I'll tell you whose skin was wanted.
7.3 IMDb, thriller, crime, drama, 104 minutes, $2 million budget.
Like they're trying to sexualize this, but
I didn't get that, but I see where you're at. So that's Hugo Weaving, who is, of course, of Matrix fame. He's the Agent Smith.
You
Lord of the
texted
Rings
me.
fame.
You texted me like you're basically Hugo Weaving, and I was like, ha ha. And then I put the movie on, and the first title comes up, Hugo Weaving. I'm like, oh, now I get that joke.
Nice.
Well done, Dale. Yeah, Agent Smith from The Matrix.
As a younger man.
Yes.
Well, when did The Matrix come out?
Probably around the same time.
1999.
That was like a year later.
He is younger than he is now.
That's true.
So.
So we're watching a silent film. He's at an interrogation. Great music, though. So he's got a gun. There's a fire.
Oh, crikey, you burned me house down.
Two minds.
Two minds.
One glance.
One truth.
Great lighting. Good night, Irene.
Hugo Weaving. There he is.
See him? Hugo Weaving?
Tony Martin.
There he is right there. Shot with light on the other side.
The Interview.
Dude, okay. Adam, way to go on the docket.
First of all, our new intern, Bertrand. I mean, you picked out, again...
Who is our new intern?
Bertrand.
Hi, Bertrand.
Pick a trailer with some some lines
really,
in it next time.
Thank you for nothing.
Sorry, guys. We're training them.
So what did we see? This is, weird. It's an interview. Adam, can you give me a run-through synopsis that's not this?
Okay. So, Hugo Weaving, Agent Smith, wakes up. Door gets bashed in. Cops arrest him.
Sure.
They sit him down in the interview room. They bring him to the station.
Interrogation.
They start asking about a stolen car. And he's like, I know nothing about a stolen car. He's just...
it's an Australian film.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was picked up through the trailer.
I think you know about the car, sir. I don't know anything about the car.
What now, you Vals?
So then you got that going on for like 20 minutes.
Sure.
And then eventually you learn there's a little more to the stolen car. Maybe a murder. Maybe multiple murders. And they're interviewing him, and it's a question of, is he guilty? Is he not guilty?
Right.
What are the bounds? What are the ethics of the police in this situation? What are your rights as a citizen?
Right.
Classic.
I want us to break the... I won't do it, but I would love to break the mold of the Netflix Explorers. All we do is give you a taste. We try to talk about it a little bit and send you off into Netflix. If you want to keep going down the rabbit hole and explore the film, good. Great, whatever you want to do. That's what we do here. But I would love to, and I don't want to do it though, but I would love to just blow this one wide open because this film is unbelievably fantastic.
Let's just do it.
I don't want to do it because I think it's so good. I don't want to ruin it for people that are watching it.
Well, I think we gave everyone the taste.
Okay. Well,
Drink View, Foster's, go watch it. It's good. All right, now
no, I'm serious. I think this Foster's. I really think this one's good enough that we cannot blow it. We need people to watch this. Firstly, rewatch, recommend. Yes. This is Hugo Weaving is brought. What is really what this movie is about? This is about what? Oh my gosh!
It's treading water. Oh, Dale, don't go under the spoiler mantle.
Patrick, talk to me about this one. What did you think about it? What did you think about this film, man?
No, this movie. So, I started watching this movie, and I thought it was just going to be a typical, like, he did it, blah blah blah. Let's pin it on him. Let's go. And then, like, it takes a couple of twists. It's got Hugo, oh my goodness, I could not believe how good he was in
Dynamite.
this movie.
Yeah.
Just amazing. And then after, like, you start seeing who this character is, you're like, okay, well, why the heck is this guy pressing him so much?
Right.
And then you start realizing who the guy that is pressing him is, and then they reveal a little bit of his backstory, and then you're like, okay, now I'm getting this. And then they go to his boss, and I'm like, okay, so why is his boss pressing him to press him? I'm like, what is going on here? And that the movie just explodes at one point.
Right in the beginning, so I don't think I'm spoiling, you understand that who's watching all of them is someone else, which is it shows in the trailer, and it shows like in the first second of the film. So you know, but you don't know why. Why film noir at its finest. To that point, lighting. Can I keep going?
Go, please.
Beautiful.
Oh.
This is, first of all, so it's 1998. This is all shot in film with like a very low color palette. I don't even know how they do it. If it's a certain type of film or the camera. Do you got anything on that?
I want to say everything's low color, but Hugo's eyes.
Okay.
Those things are blooming the entire time.
And
his
I think
blue eyes are almost a distraction throughout my watching of it.
People might be yelling at their favorite podcast player, but I think you can use some sort of chroma film that pulls certain colors out. Because there's a scene, I don't even want to say what scene it is, but it like all of a sudden becomes super colorful.
Yeah.
And whatever, I'll let you watch it and you'll be struck by it because the whole movie, harsh lighting, the camera angles that the jibs used to like do almost a Matrix-y shot, by the way, when Neo kind of like ducks down for the bullets over his head, ironically enough. Like they use a lot of crazy jib shots. You see the classic, the person of authority is shot from above down, you know, and the lesser person is shot from below up. You're filled with, there's a lot of stuff you don't need to know about these people, but you visually just see. Because like how it looks.
It's not so much as you're seeing it, but you're almost feeling it.
Sure.
Because like
it's
like
all
you're saying
subliminal stuff.
Yeah.
And you see like someone's lit from the bottom. Okay, they're bigger than light, quote unquote. Your mind just picks up on that. And some guy has harsh light above them. Well, you know, they're visually being weighed down by the light. Like these are all stuff you're picking up on subliminally. And this is packed. The whole movie's packed with this stuff. Adam, love it, hate it. What do you think about this one? Talk to me.
I really liked it. It's a good ride. It's a really good ride. You think the movie's going one way, and it changes course on you about 20 times. You got it figured out.
Sure.
And then no, you don't got it figured out.
Right. Wipe that clean.
Like
you erase the dry erase board.
It's what I brought up in the previous segment. With Aeon Flux, it's like they ask one question, the whole movie you're trying to figure it out. This one asks you a lot of little questions, and then you get immediate payoff. Immediate payoff. So now you're like, what?
Right.
Oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? What's going to happen next? I think he's guilty. No, he's probably innocent. No, he's probably guilty. No, he's innocent. No, he's definitely guilty. No. Why'd you think that, Adam?
And
like,
then, and then the onion comes out a layer, and it's like, well, who's this guy? Well, what's his angle? Well, why is he talking about? Oh, and then like another onion comes out.
Yeah.
And so you still have the original middle. You know, what's Hugo Weaving up to? But like, what is all this other stuff happening in the background? Somebody who hasn't seen this one is just got to be screaming because we're describing this thing that's so great, but I don't even want to.
Well,
I got to be so careful.
So I watched this movie originally, and I kind of wrote it off. I was like, this is crap. I don't know why I'm watching this. But then, not so much as my second viewing of it, but I restarted it from like a different mindset. And so in this mindset, I was just listening to the movie.
Okay.
I wasn't so much watching it, but I was just kind of like listening to it. So I'm listening to the dialogue, and I'm almost thinking like this would be a great audiobook. Because if you didn't know like how many players are in this, and you're just watching it from suspect cop,
right,
and then some other stuff is involved, you're like, whoa, that was a good twist for an audiobook. So
sure.
I feel like they almost kind of prematurely led on with some of the stuff in the beginning, but even though they led on with it, it was still amazing to watch. It was probably the best movie that we've watched this year so far. And
right.
I would stake my podcasting reputation on it,
Ooh.
saying to date, this movie is the best one we've watched in 2018. And we watched Guardians of the Galaxy this year.
You know what?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So that's
my neck may be out there with it, man. I
Yeah.
agree. I think it's that good. I mean, there is another thing too about this movie. I don't know if you guys picked up on it a little bit. It like towards the end, and things are becoming revealed, and almost bigger questions are being asked, and asking of the viewer to dissect a little bit. How did you guys feel? Again, we're dancing and people hate when we do this, but at the ending, did you guys feel like, boom, case closed, hammer on the desk, or on the gavel on the judge's table, whatever it is, or did you guys go like, what? Or like, did you miss something? What did you guys feel at the end? I want to get your reactions because I watched this one last night. Adam, when this one finished, what did you feel? Like, oh man, good. Check mark, case complete. What do you feel?
Well, okay, so I guess right when it ended, I was just like, oh, like like that was good. Like that's just my first thought.
Okay,
but I will say that it's in my cons list coming up. But I think Lord of the Rings ended it by one notch. I think they added one scene at the end they didn't need to add.
He's in Lord of the Rings too, which I just remembered too.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So he knows. So they went one scene too much, and then if they cut it right there, it would have been perfect.
Yes. Okay.
But I thought when it all ended, you felt good for everybody. Almost everybody is set up to do okay in the future.
Yes.
And I think what happened. I think what's gonna happen.
Right.
And it's a weird deal. It's like
it's weird.
Yeah,
but it can be taken a different way when the movie ends.
I don't think so.
I think so. But I can't tell you why, which sucks. Patrick, when this movie ended, what did you feel? What are you left pulling a Papa Steve? What did you feel after it?
I felt that the movie was resolved in every aspect that it needed to be resolved in.
Okay.
I felt something, but I don't want to say what I felt this week. I'll say next week what I felt.
Ooh, maybe we can return to this one.
So I definitely think this movie is one of there's so many aspects to this movie that it's hard to pin one down that I really liked without giving it away.
Sure.
But I will say there's a human struggle in this movie. There's
moral struggle.
There's so many struggles in this movie, but they're all resolved at the end.
Right.
And next week I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, there was, when the movie ended, I watched the entire credits in a blank, blurry stare. And Julie's like, okay, I'm going to bed. So she goes to bed, and I'm sitting there, and the credits are rolling, and I'm struck, and I like jump out of the chair. I'm like, wait, this is a lot different than this whole movie is a lot different than I originally thought.
Very
when
clever.
I just watched.
Very clever.
I was blown out of the water. But anyway, I want to stop talking about this one. I want everybody to watch it. I mean, it's so good, but we can't blow it. I just won't let us do it. This is not a ornithologist.
Well, the mindfield's sitting right there.
I know it. I don't even want to.
Just put it on.
It's a great tale. No, let's just
take a 5-second pause.
Put on the ring.
Put it on.
Put on the ring. Okay, let's just get through this one. Pros, cons, Adam.
Pro, yeah, awesome, real smart, very, very intelligent movie. It keeps you guessing the whole way. It's very entertaining. Cons, like I said, my only con is it went one scene too far.
Yeah.
I think if you didn't have that extra scene at the end, it would have been more ambiguous.
Okay.
Ambiguous.
Right.
And it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
So that's my only con.
Gotcha. Patrick, pros, cons?
This was like a top-notch storytelling.
Sure.
You can't, like, they say Shawshank Redemption is like your benchmark for telling a story.
Okay.
I would put this above Shawshank with storytelling.
Okay.
Because that's how good this movie is.
Right.
When it comes to cons, I think it's sometimes the accents, the Australian accents as an American viewer are going to pull you out.
I threw subtitles on for a little bit of it because there was a lot of stuff going on, and I went, I need to know exactly what they're talking about, so I threw subtitles on.
Yeah, I think that might be because I didn't put subtitles on for
Okay.
it. I watched this before Godzilla, so subtitles were off as they normally are.
Sure.
You guys are goofing with your subtitles. I didn't even know you could do this.
We're all crazy, man. We're all jiggy with the subtitle.
But yeah, this movie, the only con is sometimes you're either going to miss something or it's going to pull you out and you're not going to be as drawn in.
You got to
as
pay
you
attention
should
to
be.
everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pros for me, it was visually the best movie. I think, yeah, definitely 2018 visually. I love this style. I love it. But that was my pro. I mean, I agree with everybody and all your guys' pros. Visually, this was fantastic. Definitely worth it. Con would be, oh boy, dancing. It leaves characters' motivations up to the viewer. So you get to decide, like, the story leaves a lot up to the viewer, and that could really skew a movie. So that could be a con, I think. I like being led by the hand through a movie sometimes, and this movie you have to make a lot of decisions yourself as a viewer. So that can be a con. It can be one for this one. It's not always, and it's not mine, but that's kind of a con, I think. What's up?
I got 3 questions.
Okay.
1, does this knock a movie out of your top 15?
I don't have a top 15 list right
Okay.
now. I can't give it
Then
to
I'll
you.
skip to question 3. Does it knock a movie out of your top 5?
In real life or Netflix?
Real life.
No.
No.
It's tough. I got a lot of years built up into my catalog. I watched this last night.
Can't be Tropic Thunder.
But that said, let's go into rewatch recommend, Adam. Is it worth those things?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say recommend, absolutely. This is kind of why we do this podcast, is to go deep into the depths. The 1998 film with Agent Smith from The Matrix.
$2 million budget.
$2 million budget, Australian film. Oh, okay, the interview. Let's check it out. and it turns out to be really good.
Right.
You know,
And for everyone thinking this was the Seth Rogen, James Franco movie.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, that's what you thought it was.
No, I typed in on Netflix The Inter, and then nothing came up. It said movies like The Interview, and I'm like, guys. And then I typed in interview, and it came up. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh no, that is confusing.
Search algos,
which is a crazy thing because I originally thought The Interview with Seth Rogen was going to be a Netflix original because I remember nobody wanted to put it out because that was right around the time of the Sony leaks and everything.
But anyway, what did you do on rewatch recommend? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Absolutely recommend. I will definitely rewatch. It has a little prestige factor in there. Now that you kind of know what all happens at the end, it's very good to watch it again. And there's a lot of details that they hint at and allude to. You're like, wait, what did he say again? What was that? So it's definitely worth a second watch.
When has the last film been that we've said, I'm definitely going to rewatch this? A lot of times we're like, yeah, we'll rewatch it. This one I was like a guaranteed rewatch, and I don't think we've had that in a long time.
But not probably since The Prestige.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
how long it's been. Unless
the origins of our prestige. That's an actual adjective.
Could it be The Interview pillar now?
Ooh,
probably not. No.
So rewatch or recommend is a yes and yes for you.
Yep.
Patrick, rewatch recommend?
Yeah, I can't. This movie knocked. I can't remember which movie, but I was thinking about my top 5, and I'm like, this just skyrocketed itself into with one viewing. So I'm saying.
So it's number 2 behind Tank 432. What? This is going to beat Tank 432?
This is definitely
somebody
better.
email Papa Steve because he's got to know about this.
He'll find out.
All right. So you're recommending?
Yes,
okay.
And I'm rewatching.
Yeah, I'm on board. I think, as Adam said, super prestige. I want to get back to it and watch it again. It's great. Again, we're dancing and people hate when we do this, but it's so good. I don't even want to talk about it because I want people to experience it. So my recommend, of course, is high, and a rewatch I will be back for. Let's bring it down liquor store aisle. Flip it back to Patrick. What do you got for that one?
Man, I just put I had some Black Rifle coffee earlier, and so I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. I wish I could mix it.
This podcast is brought to you by Black Rifle Coffee. Black Rifle, taste the lead.
And so I wish I could mix that Black Rifle coffee with Early Times whiskey.
BlackRifleCoffee.com.
And Early Times whiskey.
This podcast is also brought to you by Early Times. Anytime's a good time for Early Times. Please drink Early Times responsibly.
And then I'll have
earlytimes.com.
BoJacksonBobblehead.com.
Yeah, so it's just like a coffee with a splash of ET and then like a nice, like a high-end donut. So like it was like a big full meal. And
this podcast is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
I said a nice donut.
Bringing you decent donuts.
meh donuts.
We'll get you there. Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, so you got coffee with ET, a nice donut, even maybe a cupcake.
Yeah, maybe a nice designer desserts cupcake if it's later in the day.
Okay, cool. Adam, bring us down liquor store aisle.
So,
or into a bakery if you're.
No, we're not going to the liquor store aisle. We're not going to the bakery.
Where are we going?
We're going to a bar.
Okay,
we're going to a nice upscale bar in the city.
Gotcha.
Okay, and you are.
Would you say it's a schnazzy bar?
It's very schnazzy.
Okay.
It's not Wes Anderson's bar.
No, it's not Wes Anderson's bar. I am wearing a button-down shirt, nice jeans, nice shoes, and a blazer.
Sleeves? Okay, I was going to say sleeves rolled up, but they're not. They're under the blazer.
They're under the blazer.
Gotcha.
So, okay, then I'm going with a good friend. I'm going with, and he's bringing.
You're going with Papa Steve.
I'm going with Papa Steve. But Papa Steve's, we're meeting another guy down there that I don't really know, but Papa Steve really knows.
Yeah.
Okay, so the three of us are hanging out.
You're meeting S. Joel Norman.
Yes. So the three of us are hanging out, and you're like, "What do you want to drink?" Like, hey, you guys want a Manhattan with Woodford Reserve or Wild Turkey?
Yeah,
like, yeah, that sounds really good.
Right.
Yeah, all right, let's do that. So you have a couple. You have one of those. You're like, okay, we'll just maybe have one.
Yeah.
Then it comes back. You guys want another? You want to do another? Yeah, we'll do another round. Okay, one more. So then you have the second round.
Right.
And then you're feeling pretty tipsy at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Steve leaves, and it's just you and the third guy.
Okay.
And then the third, so you don't really know how this is going to go, right? You
right,
kind of exchange pleasantries. Okay, like the interview. Okay, it's kind of good. It's all right. We're starting off all right. And then with just the two of you, he goes, "Hey, man. So, like, do you ever listen to podcasts?" And then I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I have a podcast. No way. Oh my God. You know, so like, and then like you connect on something and then it's great. Like then you become instant friends.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's kind of that feeling where you're kind of like, okay, I don't know how this is going to go. But then, oh, bam, cool. This guy's cool. Yes.
Yes.
You know, so.
That was great. That was a great walk down Lickstraw Island to a bar. Yeah. That was great.
Thanks.
Again, I'm sorry. I get so excited. I it was really good. I thought you were going to do Foster's, and that was I was going to set you up for Foster's. No, that's good. I just got hot coffee. Got what Patrick was saying. It's very noir. It's hot. It's bitter. It's drip coffee that's just made from a brick, and it's gritty, it's dark, it's dirty, it burns your tongue, but you want to take another sip. It's so good the whole way through. Dude, that's what it's like.
I didn't know every time you drink coffee, it's like being waterboarded.
No, not every time. Only this one is just, you're in a dark gas station. It's a speedway. It's 2 a.m.
You want a coffee, mate?
And you're like, yeah, fight for it. So it's like, it's grimy, it's dirty, but it's wonderful because it's a cup of coffee. It's a cup of Joe, and you need it. It feels good. I'm talking in short sentences because that's what I feel about that. So the black coffee on that one.
Oh, man.
I don't know. That's what I think about that. But there's just something we need to figure out, gentlemen. What is the movie of the week? Off the fence, Adam.
Interview, for sure.
Off the fence, Patrick.
It's got to be Interview.
Interview it is, boys.
I'm glad that one worked out well.
Nice pick, man. You're just
definitely docket master material.
Shooter.
The
Nice
gunslinger versus the lawman.
Hey,
That's what's coming next week.
Adam, where can people find out about us?
Anywhere.
Give us one.
Open up a paper. Open up the internet. Boom. Netflix Explorer.
Boom. Bobbleheads.com.
1890 Studio. Count 1. Go to our podcast on Spreaker.com.
Yes.
Netflix Explorers. Boom. Count 2.
Yeah.
iTunes. We are on iTunes.
Yes.
Subscribe. Give us a 5-star. Helps us rating. Help us get seen.
Nice.
Boom. Count 3.
Boom.
Boom. Count 4. We're on Facebook at the Netflix Explorers at /Facebook.com.
Yes.
Boom. Count 4. Wait, I did that. Boom. Count 5. We're on Twitter. At the NetX.
Yes.
Boom. Count 6. Email us at 1890studios. I am Adam at 1890studios.com. Dale at 1890studios.com. And Patrick at pfunk@1890studios.com.
It's just Patrick.
It's Patrick.
We have a separate one set up. Bertrand, we got to get Bertrand an email set up. Bertrand, count 8. Boom!
Nice work, man. We want to thank everybody for listening. Man, Adam, thank you for showing up, and a great exit outro for us. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on the podcast.
All right. See you.
Patrick, thanks for being on the podcast.
That's what I'm here for.
And all of us here got to say see you along. We'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody. We're the Netflix Explorers.
Boom, count 9.
Boom. 10.
Snapchat. Boom, count 12.
We're on Snapchat. Are we on Snapchat?
Let's start one. Boom, count 13.